Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jake, and, well, I'm an atheist. Now, why am I possibly saying this now? You might be asking yourself. Because I got inspired a few hours ago by a particular person, and I'll get to that a little bit later, to make my religion video. My video just talking all about religion, and why I think that religion is absolutely not good for the world. Now, the reason why I've gotten a lot of requests from a bunch of people. I would love to say all your names, just be like, thank you for the idea, but this is actually an idea that I've had since I started the whole thing. And so I got to fix my slipper here. And while I've gotten requests since the very first video, episode 0, I haven't done anything about religion yet. I may have made like little comments about it in previous videos, but nothing where I'm just like, yeah, down with religion. But that's really not what I'm saying. But anyways, yeah, I thought now was a good time to start because I got inspired by somebody that spoke out and was severely insulted. Uh, I personally don't know her, wish I did, but I don't. Um, but she stood up against something that was actually unconstitutional, and I really respect her for that. And it was actually on the wonderful thing of Facebook that I actually got the inspiration for this because of a comment I posted on a page, but I'll get to that a little bit later. First, I want to get, just first, I just want to start off by disproving, I guess you could say, all of the misconceptions about atheism. What is exactly atheism? Atheism is where a person is saying that I don't believe that there is a deity or deities. That's it. They're simply saying I don't believe that there is a God. I don't believe that there is gods. I don't believe that there's any kind of spectral man in the sky, or woman, or people, or things. That's it. Nothing else. If you came onto this video and you thought that before atheism was where an atheist worships the devil, then you have absolutely zero grasp of the world. Okay? I found that exact definition. Atheism is where people believe in that there is no deity or deities. By typing in atheist into Google, clicking on the Wikipedia link, and right there it says that this is what atheism is. It really wasn't that hard. It's not like I had to go on some massive quest. It's not like I had to go to that giant red dictionary right back there and look for it. Not Captain Underpants. I know. If somebody noticed that, that's cool. But that dictionary, you don't need to go on some massive quest to figure out what an atheist is. It's very simple. It's where a person simply says, I don't believe in God, or I don't believe in any God at all. Period. Or at least they haven't seen any good evidence for one. Sorry, text message. And that's it. And there's also the very inaccurate belief that in order to be an atheist, you are amoral, because the only thing that can possibly give you morals is a god. No, that's just absolutely not accurate. I've been an atheist for about, oh geez, a long time. A long time to me, about 8 or 9 years. I haven't referred to myself as an atheist because when I was 8 years old, I had no idea what an atheist was, but I didn't believe in God anymore. I have been raised, I've been raised religiously. My middle name is Christian, so I mean, kind of set me up for religious belief in my life. But anyway, that's a little bit beside the point, a little too personal there. But it's not like I've when I became an atheist, I suddenly just became this horrible monster of a person. I haven't just gone out and started shooting people to death. I haven't tried killing anybody. It's not like you're amoral for being an atheist. And if you honestly believe that is that if you're an atheist you must automatically be evil, you clearly have no grasp of what makes a person moral and what doesn't. It's not a god, it's not a religion, it's nothing like that. It's biology. And I know that I did complain about the biology class in one of my past videos, but I am not complaining about the science itself. I'm complaining about the way that they were teaching it, not the science itself. Anyway, back on to the actual topic of religion. So, what inspired me to make this video now? Excuse me. Well, first, let me back up for a minute. The reason why I didn't want to actually, make a video about this, a damn Coke. The reason I didn't want to make a video about this was very simply because I have friends that are religious. And some of these friends I really care about. And I really didn't want to lose them because of my harsh criticisms of religion. And yeah, I just really didn't want to lose friends, and also I didn't want to, because I know this is the video that I think everybody's really been waiting for, the one where I actually talk about why I think that religion is just wrong, why it's simply incorrect to me, guys, to me. Remember, this is my opinion here. I didn't want this to be the video where everybody just suddenly stops watching the rest of my videos, because I still have plenty of things to talk about. I still have tons of things that I can very easily discuss, but I don't want this to be the end of the whole Confused Rambling series. But hopefully you guys continue watching, because I still got plenty to talk about, and yeah. Anyway, so what exactly is wrong with religion? And why do I have such a big problem with religion? Because I really think that there is a huge problem with religion. I think that there are really... Oh, crap. Completely forgot, guys. Very sorry. The reason why I wanted to make this video, there we go. There's this girl. Her name was Jessica Alquist. I'm probably messing up that name. It's a very difficult to pronounce name. But, Jessica Alquist, was living in, like, the Bible Belt. Somewhere down south. And in her school, there was a prayer banner engraved on, like, the marquee or something. And correctly, I might add, she said she sued them, and she won, and they removed it. Why? Because it was unconstitutional. Now, there's a little thing called a separation of church and state. The government and the church have to be completely separate. And that prayer banner, being in a public school, was unconstitutional. It was a government building with religion placed into it, and that's illegal. That's incorrect. That's unconstitutional, and that's factual. The whole reason I'm really making this video is because I commented on the Facebook page, no support for Jessica Alquist and other Christians that agree with her or whatever. And I decided that I would comment on that and say separation of church and state, and I did that, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months ago. And I said that because that's a valid point. The whole argument that they have is that this girl is evil and she's an atheist and she needs to die. There were actually people in her town that threatened her because they removed a prayer banner. Half of the students there probably never even looked at that prayer banner but decided, hey, she's attacking my religion and she's an atheist, when they clearly don't even understand what their own religion says. But anyway, the reason I decided to say this is because there's, in America, we have a huge number of Christians here, and that's simply factual. If you look at the census numbers, we have about 70% Christians in this nation. 70% of this population is Christian. Doesn't that kind of seem a little bit strange? Doesn't that seem a little large? In the whole nation that's supposed to be, free You're free to believe whatever you want. We have people that push the religion on each other. And that's true, guys. Let's take a look at this. If you guys have ever taken a look at a video where you see little kids at at huge churches, they have somebody saying, "You will pray to God" on the microphone. Everything you do will be about God, and you will always ignore scientists. If they tell you anything, you will ignore them, and that's the way it's gone. I've seen it happen. Not that didn't happen exactly the way at my church did, but we did have huge things in the church. It was it's the best way I can describe it is to say it's indoctrination. We're pushing religion on kids that they can't even decide these things for themselves. If I read a quote once, and it goes something like, "Children are the greatest atheists. If religion was not pushed on them at an early age, they would remain atheists." And I think that's a good thing. Why? Because there's nothing wrong with being an atheist. Being an atheist in this country is much harder than it is being somebody of religion. Now, am I saying that I personally had huge struggles because I'm an atheist? No, I haven't. I have very accepting parents, even though both of them are to some extent, religious. I mean, just outside this door, right here, the door to this room, my mom has a sign that says, "This house believes." She's religious, but she completely accepts that I am not. My father, he is to some extent religious, and he completely accepts that I'm not. That's not the case for a lot of kids or a lot of people my age. There are some that are literally disowned by their parents for this. It's religion drives people apart much more than atheism does, in the sense that I am, as an atheist, willing to say I've got friends that are Christian, I have friends that are Muslim, and that's all the religions that I can think off the top of my head that I have friends that are of different religions, and I have plenty of friends that are atheists. It doesn't make a difference to me, and I believe that there's really two types of religious people. If you know, and this is probably going to be a little bit insulting, but I believe that there are two types. There's the kind that's the dangerous religious people, and then the harmless religious people. My parents are the harmless kind. And I think that a lot of my friends are the harmless type of religious, which by that I mean you're not somebody that's going to bring out a gun and say, "You will believe in my religion." They're not somebody that's going to be that hardcore and that orthodox and that just like, "There is nothing but my religion." And what I basically mean is that the harmless people that are religious are the type that say, "You know what? You're free to believe whatever you want. I have no problems with that." And then there's the dangerous kind that say, "You're fucking disgusting, and you're wrong, and you're a sinner, and you're going to go to hell, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this." That's the dangerous kind. And I think that there's a gulf of difference between the two. And if you actually look at the Bible, and I kind of put people that are, for the most part, harmless still into the dangerous category. These are the people that are constantly very, very outwards and very expressive about their religion. They constantly bring it up. That are very, very outward showing with that religion. Like the people with like the religious bumper stickers, where it says something like, "I'm going to heaven, atheists go to hell." I've never seen a bumper sticker like that, but I'm sure that's somewhere down south. You could probably find one like that. But for the most part, people that are very show off their religion, that just talk about a lot, that are very outgoing with it, I tend to put into the more dangerous category, because they're the type of person that typically won't. That usually are pretty accepting, but then there are times where they just don't accept it. They don't accept other people's opinions on religion. But let me get back to a wider thing of the flaws of religion versus science. And that's really kind of the main idea that I really wanted to get to. And in 14 minutes, I haven't really gotten to that. I really kind of rambled here. But looking at it, science has given us many more things than religion has. That is a fact. You, yes you, right there, watching this video right now, are watching it because of science. I am speaking into a microphone on a headset that is plugged in to a computer. This computer was built by man, and it was built by scientists. And the phone that you use to text and the keyboard that you're probably using to insult me right now because you think that I'm an idiot for my lack of belief in religion, that too was created by scientists. It was not snapped into being by God. It was not snapped into being by man through the intervention of God. It was built by scientists, not a God. And that's another flaw that I see with religion, is that while it does bring people peace in times where they really need peace. That's true. Science doesn't really bring you peace. It just brings you the facts. And sometimes the facts really aren't very nice. But a very smart man once said, a man named Neil deGrasse Tyson, I really want to say that name correctly, stated, "Facts are true whether or not you believe them." You don't have to believe in facts. You can ignore them all you want. That doesn't make them any less true. And your ignorance of something does not mean that it's not true. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because this has to do with evolution as well. One of the common arguments that I've heard at my high school is that why are there still monkeys if we as humans evolved from monkeys? That's kind of like saying that's essentially the equivalent of saying why is there still England and English people when we have America and America started off from people coming from England? That is so ignorant of anything. Just I myself don't know all the facts of evolution because I haven't gone on the internet recently and looked up all the facts of evolution. But it's that simple, guys. It's pretty much a well-tested and explained theory. Now, wait a second. I just said theory. That doesn't mean that it's proven, actually. So is gravity. Gravity is also just a theory. But watch this now, guys. Gravity. It's true. Just as evolution is true. You don't have to know every fact about it to know that it's true. To know that over time things change. It's like the evolution of this phone here, alright? We've all seen the older phones, right? I'm looking around here because I've got this desk here and I'm looking to see if I happen to have any of my old phones. No, I don't. But we've seen through the evolution of just technology that things change over time naturally. Now, technology isn't something that's natural, but let me think of an example that I can give you. Dogs. If you've ever looked at dogs and you've ever seen how they kind of change, how they interbreed things and they change over time, I'm trying to explain this in a way that's simple, but I can't think of any because naturally I don't know enough about evolution. That is something that I'm willing to admit. I don't know enough about evolution to be able to give you a very good explanation of it. Now, where does that leave us with religion? Religion is just it's just not. It's simply not. It is the lack of knowledge. It is the ignoring of eventual change. It is willfully saying, I will not listen to knowledge and facts. Wow, 20 minutes. It is the I will not listen to these facts because I myself do not fully understand them. I do not fully understand evolution. I have not personally looked at every detail of evolution or the Big Bang Theory and understood it and seen it all and been able to spin it back to you in a way that makes perfect sense. Because I don't understand the science behind it perfectly. But just because I am not fully educated in the understanding of it, that does not make it any less true. That just means that there are much, much, much smarter people than me that can figure these things out, that know it for certain. And if these much, much, much smarter people know it to be true, then who am I, somebody that knows nothing, somebody that really doesn't know science very well, somebody that really isn't all that smart, who am I to say that I don't know it? There are people that say that atheists are extremely arrogant about their beliefs. It's not true. I mean, sure. Just like there are plenty of arrogant Christians and arrogant religious people, there are plenty of arrogant atheists. That's just like saying there's plenty of arrogant people in the world. That's kind of a no-brainer. But they say that we're arrogant. They say that atheists are arrogant because we have an explanation for things and we say that it's fact because we've been able to prove it. And then religious people say, oh, you're arrogant for that because we say that we know things. But when somebody who is religious says that clearly evolution just can't possibly be true, when they themselves have not looked at everything, when they themselves haven't looked at everything and at least tried to understand it, or said, or at least admitted, I am not fully versed in it, and therefore I cannot understand it, but then say, but because I cannot understand it, it is therefore not true. That is arrogance. That's the difference. Now, I'm just trying to think of other arguments. There's a thing called creationists out there, and this is much way better refuted than by little me here. A guy named Thunderfoot does this much better than I because he has an entire series called Why Do People Laugh at Creationists? But there are people that willfully ignore the evidence that we have, that science has given us to look at the world and the way that the world has changed and evolved and grew from its very beginnings. And people that willfully ignore this. And they propose creation, which is the belief that a God created the earth and the universe somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago, whether you're a young earth and new earth creationist. And these people are essentially ignoring every documented scientific explanation of the world and saying, simply summarizing it, God did it. Now, let me actually tell you what I consider religion to be, what I consider Christianity to be, and really all religion. All religion is really an explanation of the world before we had a way of explaining the world. That's it. It's an antiquated piece of history. Take the Bible and put it back up on the shelf where it belongs, the shelf of history, because it was the way before we had the scientific method to actually explain, to explain the world. And for its time, yeah, it was pretty good. It had ways of describing things that nobody else could. But now we have science. We have a thing called the scientific method, which allows us to test things and come to conclusions accurately. Religion doesn't. Now, there are plenty of people that are reasonable and intelligent that are religious. They're the harmless ones. There are many, many, many extremely ignorant, violent, and dangerous religious people. And if you're going to believe in a God, or gods, or follow any religion, please, at least be open to other ideas. I myself am open to, if there is evidence for a God, please, present it, and I will gladly take a look. But until that day has come where I have seen actual convincing evidence, I will still say, I do not believe in a God. Thanks for watching, guys. I can't believe this is almost half an hour of video. If you think that I'm wrong, please message me and comment me. I know that I'm going to get plenty of those. If you think that I did right, but I missed out on something, please tell me. I'm sure that I forgot something. I know I messed up quite a few things in this video, but please be gentle. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.